Hello friends and welcome to the Crypto Stacker channel. My name's Dean. If you're watching my videos for the first time, please know I only make them for entertainment, education, and for community building in the crypto space. Today's video is about Saitama, and I'm going to start by just briefly apologizing for the fact that I don't have much light here today. I'm traveling for the state tennis tournament in Boise, Idaho. It's exciting stuff, but I don't have all of my studio gear with me, so the light's going to be a little bit dim, but the screen will be just fine. Hey, some crazy stuff going on with Saitama, as you guys all well know. And so I've done a couple of things to try to put it in perspective. I created a new spreadsheet to share with you guys that you can use as a V2 calculator. I'll show you how that works and make it available to you in the description. Of course, it's just a freebie. It's a really simple spreadsheet, but you can make your own copy and use it to calculate how many tokens you're going to end up with and what the price of Saitama would be in any given day based on what the current price is. So let's jump into that and start talking about Saitama. So first of all, you can see in the last 24 hours, pretty good run up. Now that's on the heels of a 121 ETH sell-off yesterday, and it's recovered all of that back and then some. Now this 121 ETH sell came at the same time about 10 minutes prior to Max Equation announcing that he'll be leaving the dev team for Saitama. That happens to have happened at the exact same time that the rest of the development team, at least Gabriel, Manny, and Nam, were traveling to India to meet with the new tech support group that Saitama is hiring to help run the project over there. So interesting timing for all that stuff. I don't know what was up with the 121 ETH sale. It certainly seemed like somebody knew Max was making an announcement before he did. I don't know if it was him who made the sell. It's not really a concern for me at this point. Realistically, the only thing that concerns me is that if they're going to really do this V2 launch, that they get it right. They're announced that they're going to do it the first of next month. So we've got about 12 days, a little less than 2 weeks before that launch should be going live. Now, that was the date that Russell had suggested in his AMA, but I don't know if that's a hard fixed date. So we'll just keep following it going forward. But, overall here, Saitama still down a lot on the year, but at least in the last 24 hours, showing some positive signs. Let's take a quick look at fundamentals, and then I'll jump in and show you this other spreadsheet that I made. So currently, the Etherscan report for wallets is 365,932, increase of 151 over yesterday. 6 days accumulation was 1,250, so about 200 accounts per day when I updated yesterday. The market cap yesterday, 111, now 146 million. That's that 33% increase. The price for Saitama, 8034. Volume in the last 24 hours, 5,593,000. And you can see here in the last few days, this was a 6-day gap between 56.95 and 57.02. But somewhere in that 6-day gap, we crossed through another percentage of the burn. And so I started thinking I wonder what speed we're burning at. I've had a lot of calculations when I'm looking more solidly at daily values instead of taking big breaks. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.5, 2.5, 2.3. There's a 365. But how long did it really take to burn that 1%? So it's 57 here. We need to go back to 56. And I keep all this data. I don't have my mouse, so it's hard for me to keep things moving in a straight line. Apologies. So there is 56 right there. Let's go back. Mark the sell. So sell 100. That was on the 9th of December. So we're just a little more than 5 months away from that time to burn 1%. 5 months, that would suggest that we'd be burning at least 2% in 2022. But the rules of engagement are about to change a little bit. And I'll show you what I mean with this V2. They're restructuring the contract for the token. They're going to restructure the tokenomics, or the way the tax is applied. Overall, the tax is going to increase 1% from 4% to 5%, but it will be distributed differently and hopefully utilized in a manner that's more conducive to operating the project. So I'm going to go ahead and start here with the Saitama official Twitter feed. And you can see just scrolling down, the top thing here was tweeted by Gabriel, and he is in India right now. And it looks like they're showing a demo of Saitamask Pro to show us that this thing is actually being produced. It looks like it's further along than maybe I thought it was going to be, which is great, right? Saitamask certainly has more than its fair share of dysfunctions. So hopefully the Saitamask Pro resolves all of that. Jumping down into a summary of the V2, one of the things that I wanted to show you was just, prior the burn was 2%, the reflection was 2%, so it was a 4% tax. Saitama V2 will have a 5% tax. There'll be a little less going to the burn, 1.25. There'll be more money going to fund the project, about 1.75. There's a 1% reflection, and they're going to be putting 1% in liquidity. Now, I'm somebody that likes the burn. I like the reflections, but more than that, I like a good functional project. And liquidity has been a huge problem with Saitamask. So if they need money to create liquidity so that we can trade in larger amounts than $50 at a time, I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm okay with that. This, to me, not a bad plan, and 5% is less than many projects are putting out there for taxes. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you really quick in here is if we go to Gabriel's Twitter feed, he is showing pictures of himself, Manny, Nam, in a room full of people that are the IT people that they've hired in India to help move Saitama forward. Now, I don't know what the skill set of these people are. I'm hoping that they'll do an AMA and tell us more about this relationship, what this means, who these folks are. But honestly, something's got to give, right? I mean, we watched failure after failure, attempted launch after attempted launch of Saitamask, of tokens, delays. And so I think that this is good, that they're starting to broaden the team and get as much help as they can in there to get something that's moving forward and functioning. So I think that's a positive thing. How the whole thing will go, I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see. Now, I did create a little calculator here. It's just very, very simple. But if you're a person who doesn't like to use math, you might find this appealing. All you have to do is fill in the shaded boxes. And I want to point out that there is a little note at the top that just says, the link that I'm putting in the description, this spreadsheet will be locked. Okay, so you can't input into the master spreadsheet. You have to make your own copy. And all you have to do, and the instructions are here, is click File, make a copy. You're going to rename it whatever you want, your spreadsheet, Dave's spreadsheet, and then click Make a Copy. It will save a copy that's your very own. It'll look exactly like this, and it will be open for you to use. So let's just say, similar to my bag, I've got about 240, but I'm going to say 250 billion. Okay. And if I have 250 billion of the current V1, I'm going to end up with 250,000 of the V2. It's eliminating 6 zeros. Okay. It's basically either you're dividing by 1,000,000 or you'd be multiplying the price by 1,000,000. If the current price is 8034, so then the future price is going to be 3034. Okay, or 2 zeros, 2034. So you're taking 6 zeros off of this, and you're essentially taking 6 zeros out of the price. And so, of course, it will also calculate the value. And what you'll see here is the goal is that when they do this conversion and roll out the V2, that the dollar value of your tokens will be the same before and after the transformation from V1 to V2. So I'll have only 250,000 tokens instead of having 250 billion, but the value of it will be the same. The price actually looks a lot more reasonable. I think it's a hell of a lot easier to read. It's been difficult trying to work with these numbers. So I like numbers that we're more familiar with. You got from 2 zeros 3, pretty darn easy to get to a penny, and we all know what a penny is. So good stuff there. So the last thing I want to do is just show you my reflections. So just pop over to that. Currently, I've got about 241 billion tokens. From yesterday to today, I received 41 million. That 6-day gap there, I received 317 million in reflections. This brings my total reflections since April the 11th to 1,557 million, currently worth about $5.30. So not much to write home about, but I've always liked reflections because it is the reward that you get for holding the token. There's something while you're waiting, and it's a little bit of good news every day. If the price is going down, you're getting reflections. If the price is going up, you're getting reflections. It's adding to your bag without you having to go back out and purchase more in the marketplace. So that's all I've got for you guys today. I appreciate you spending the time. Check back with me soon. We'll watch our crypto stacks grow together.